Hello. So I really enjoyed this video by Marcus Buckingham. The question is, describe how how we can assist others to recognize and develop their strengths. And so according to what Buckingham said in his video, a few points I noted were to be clear. An antidote of anxiety is to be clear. I also liked the quote or just something that made me think. I always use there's no I in team, but Michael Jordan, who we know is highly successful, said that, well, there is an I in win. And he led on into this question that answers this question. As leaders, we need to encourage, motivate, manage. And then he talks about what a great manager does, and they turn one person's talent into performance. So if we're great leaders, we're gonna get people to work harder than they've ever worked for anybody. If we have the qualities of a great leader, and we are a catalyst to helping bring their talent to great performance. So we set them up for success. So the question that helps people really discern what their strengths are and how to develop them is first by asking, I'll use my field of work for an example. He used the word, what's the three greatest moments in your last 3 months of work? I would say, what's the three greatest moments in your last 3 months of school or volleyball? And then what were you doing, and how can you replicate this? So it gets them to think past the actual outcome, but actually tap into the feeling and what's creating that feeling of success, in my opinion. On the flip side, getting them to understand their weaknesses, which he explained in an interesting way that I've never heard, that weakness is just a way of saying that it's weakening you or frustrating you. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that can't be a strength. But you can ask the same question about, well, what was the worst 3 moments in the last 3 months in volleyball or in school? Why did it drain you? How can we avoid this? And so those questions lead to a preventative discussion where they get to think a little bit deeper about who, what's weakening them. I think these types of questions, these digging questions, are gonna help people to learn and discover and then prepare for the future. I like the word replicate, especially in terms of success, because I believe that success is such a relative term. So it really comes down to the standard that the individual has set forth, and how they feel about themselves during whatever you're talking about. For me, it would be volleyball or their education. So this is the way that you develop success. One of the other questions is that you talked about was you want to try to find triggers. So you want to ask, well, what did the best manager and relationship and you have, like, what made you feel that way, basically? And then it kind of led into, what was the best recognition you had? And basically these questions help you figure out how the person is wired. And if you can figure out how the person is wired, what makes them tick, then you kind of have a hierarchy of values. And when you have a hierarchy of values, you have a relationship, there's a trust there. You can use that to get them to their potential in whatever you're doing. So that's how I see it. I thought this was really valuable, and I look forward to hearing what you guys say.